we should be talking to the government. What is the betterment for all Australians?
Thank you. Is it working?
Yes.
Yes, it is. I have to say I agree with almost all of what you've said, and I have an admiration for what you're doing. But I'm going to ask an awkward question, and that is, it's something in the nature of looking at it realistically. So you may be aware that about a week ago, Amanda Vanstone hosted somebody on her show, her radio show called Counterpoint. It was a part Aboriginal person who was putting forward an idea for sustainable Aboriginal communities, but he wasn't talking about what you're talking about. He's talking about it in terms of how the government sees it or how the rest of Australia sees it. That is, the community should be self-supporting. And I'll pick up what you're saying about self-sufficiency. Now, I hear you saying that you've got a small beginning and it can grow. So one of the questions I would ask is, of the enterprises that you have on your lands, like tourism or caring for country, are they going to be enough to be able to give you the income or the economic foundation, if you like, for those communities to be sustainable? And that was the substance, more or less, of this talk that was given on the radio. The other point I'd make is that you might be aware that Marcia Langton gave the Boyer lectures this year, and she's made a very strong point that she thinks that the mining industry is the biggest investor in Aboriginal communities, and she is rather dismissive of preserving wilderness, if I can put it that way. Now, I'm not saying this to attack what you're saying. In fact, as I said, I'm very sympathetic. I agree with this. I agree that people who wish to preserve their culture should have the opportunity to do so. They should be encouraged to do so. But in return, I think it seems to me that the majority of the population, and certainly the authorities, want to see that you are doing something, quite a lot in fact, to help yourselves. So are there any other economic things that you're thinking about?
Yes, there are. To be able to do these things, you need economic resources, you need natural resources. A lot of the mines are found on Aboriginal lands. You've got the minerals coming out of the places, and the poorest of the poor people live next to these mines. A mine was imposed on Yolngu people with